Todd Ruoff, who is the CEO of Autonomys. Thank you very much for stepping in today to our show. So tell me a little bit, you're the CEO of Autonomys for the last 5 months. What brought you to Autonomys? What attracted you to Autonomys? And let's hear about your vision for Autonomys.
Yeah, so I joined Autonomys about 4 years ago, and I had met the co-founder working on a project in the Polkadot ecosystem, and I became very interested in it. My background is more from Wall Street side for 20 years prior to this, but also always been very interested in technology. And I just see crypto as the perfect synergy of kind of technology and finance intertwined. So I decided to move over to this space full time. And again, working at Autonomys in various roles over the last 4 years, most recently taking over as the CEO. And my vision for Autonomys. So, we have come to realize after all of the different, I wouldn't say pivots, but all the different visions that we've kind of had, that we're going full circle right back to where we started, which is really DSN, the storage network, is where the real value is, because we have the most decentralized storage network that is out there. We have over 2,000 nodes. Anybody can run one. We have over 600 petabytes of storage available for people to store data, and for actually storing this data on chain. We do firmly believe that as agents continue to proliferate, that it is going to be essential to track all of this activity, all of the communications, keep an immutable audit trail so that no one has the ability to rewrite history and go back and change something that maybe you didn't want your agent to change, or delete something that you didn't want the agent to delete. So we feel that the permanent storage aspect of this, which is really at the crux of what the project was founded on, is really where we're going to get the most value.
Okay, so is it kind of to avoid sort of rogue agents? Is that's kind of what you're thinking about, getting all the data for the agents on chain?
Yeah, that's right. So, you hear a lot of talk about autonomous agents, and people saying, we can launch autonomous agents. They're really not autonomous. They're kind of constrained autonomous. So you still need to provide your autonomous agent with Amazon Web Services, so it has compute and it has storage. You need to use a credit card to get that, or do some minimal form of KYC. An autonomous agent can't just open up its own account at Amazon and just start doing these things. So, agents, in order to be truly autonomous, are going to need really three basic things. They're going to need a home, they're going to need money, and they're going to need a passport. And on the Autonomous platform, we provide those. The DSN is where the agent lives, which is completely permissionless. Anyone can spin up an agent there. It doesn't require any kind of like a KYC to store the data. And to pay for the storage, you'll use the money, which is the tokens. The AI3 token will function as the store value and the currency in the ecosystem, as well as any other stable coins or other tokens you want to bridge over. And then finally, identification. One of the domains that is going to be on top of our consensus chain is called Auto ID, and that will enable agents and humans to create unique identifiers to prove their agency to one another. So with those three things, we can really have autonomous agents, which is something that just doesn't exist today.
The company's spun up an agent at the moment, I understand.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about that. So you're having fun and games playing with the features and stuff like that.
We are. So if I can show you quickly just the back of my shirt, 0x Argument is our proof of concept agent. And it's running on Twitter on the X platform, just because that's where all the activity is right now.
Yeah.
So it is out there interacting with, it's making its own posts, it's following it's deciding who it wants to follow, kind of a mind of its own as an AI agent. And it is responding to posts. If you tag it, it will respond back to you and you can have a conversation. And what you then get to see is, if you go to the profile page for 0x Argument, you'll see a link to the Explorer. And if you click that, you go to the Block Explorer, where you can just type something from your tweet, and the entire conversation between you and the agent comes up. All of the communications are archived permanently, as well as the thought process, the reasoning that the agent went through to formulate its responses. So it kind of has a really step-by-step that would provide, in the event that an agent goes rogue and has to be shut down, it would provide an autopsy. And again, this is immutable and something that can never be deleted. And we think that's going to be.
That is so it's like it has a memory. It has a memory. And that's unusual, because agents don't have AI doesn't have memory really at the moment, does it? Or maybe
Does not.
it's not.
Does not. It's in a database, and when it gets shut down, that's gone. So yes, we are minting memories, as Argument always likes to say. I'm minting my memories on
Oh, it's
Autonomous.
so classic. I love that. So finally, tell me, you're here at ETH Denver. What do you hope to get out of it?
So my biggest goal for us here is just going to be to network and meet up with as many other companies as we can that we can partner with, like Secret Network. Um, we are now at the stage where we are going to launch our mainnet phase 2, which is where TGE takes place. We already launched our consensus chain back in October. That is where all the data is being stored. But now comes the domains, the execution environments that are going to run on top of it. That will be the EVM. That will be auto ID for identification. And as we launch those and we have TGE, it just opens up a whole other wealth of possibilities. And given that we're ready to launch the network in the next 3 to 4 weeks, now we are really ready to hit the ground running with partners. It's very easy for everybody to line up these partnerships, and you see everybody's lists of all these people they partner with. But more often than not, it's just kind of co-marketing, and because you cannot really integrate or partner with someone that doesn't have a live network. So now that we have a live network, the goal is definitely going to be to start having those conversations about integrations.
Excellent. And I love that you're saying about your agent, he's minting his Is it a he? They, them?
We call it a he, but I guess it's a they, them. So yeah.
They are minting their memories.
On Twitter and ask him his pronouns, right?
Yeah, that's good. Hey, if we're allowed, if it's Trump hasn't thrown all those out anyway. Okay, cool. That's very interesting. I wish you every success, and I'll be following your company very closely in the future. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Jill.
Thank